Hello, students. We are going to begin with the fifth chapter. That the name of the story is Different Strokes, and it is all about criticism. We all are aware of the fact that criticism is one thing which we all are good at. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry is able to criticize a person. I'm not talking about any negative criticism or positive criticism, like, I'm not bifurcating in that. But yes, we Indians, and don't say Indians, just the entire humanity loves to criticize people's in a positive or maybe in a negative way. Negativity is prevailing more, so it has got its own relevance. Uh, with your kind of experience, you must have seen that it is human nature to judge others. When we deal with others, it is very easy to find faults and condemn the person to whom you are speaking to. Often we comment on the way people dress, or they talk, or they move, eat, or perform. We condemn the way people perform, isn't it? But the truth is, if we are to perform the same way or the same task, it is very easy to just criticize and condemn, but we are not able to perform at times to that kind of a level that we look forward to. So it is very difficult to improve the change or the situation. We will understand it in a better way in this particular story. Once upon a time, there was a painter who had just completed his course under a good painter, matlab a painter who was very well known. Okay, he was a disciple of the same painter who was a very good painter. So this young artist decided to access his or assess his kind of a skill and paint the best of the strokes on the canvas. You must have seen canvas in the movies and all, maybe if you have not been exposed to your own canvases of painting. So he took 3 days to paint a beautiful scenery. So suddenly an idea flashed in his mind that he wanted to that he can display that particular painting in front of the uh, strange peoples of the society, and he can readily have the feedback from them. So he put the creation at a busy street at the crossing, and below the painting, he placed uh, a written statement. What written statement? Gentlemen, I have painted this particular painting, and being a new kind of a person into that profession, he wanted that people should uh, come out with his mistakes. Means he must have committed to some mistakes in that particular painting, and he wanted that people should find out the mistakes in that particular painting so that he can uh, learn from it. So he wanted that the peoples must put a cross to a particular part of that painting, so that he can identify or he can just get hold of what actually he has done wrong, and then he can rectify the same in his later paintings. While he came back in the evening to collect his painting, because the morning he displayed the same, when he returned back in the evening to take that painting away and find out what kind of a suggestion or what kind of a feedback the peoples were to give, he was very astonished to see that the entire scenery which he was painted by him was having the cross mark in it. He was not able to identify where he has colored the scenery. It was all with all the crosses all throughout the canvas. He was very disheartened. It's natural, no? If this kind of a thing is going to happen to you, you will be also disheartened, or maybe I will be also disheartened if people's come to you and give you the feedback in a way that is full of criticism, and full of criticism in a way that the entire painting was crossed. So he burst into tears, natural, sobbing and then crying inconsolably. He was not consolable because a young person, a very young person, if for his very first painting he gets so much of criticism, what will happen with him? Just think of it. If you are doing something good, if you are doing something new and somebody criticizes you in a way that you find yourself with full of criticism, you will be really troubled, isn't it? So he told his master about what has happened, because what he has done and what kind of a reaction or what kind of a feedback he has got. Such was the state that the crosses and correction marks has hidden the entire painting. So the young artist was breathing heavily, and he said that I am useless. So he was so disheartened that he thought that he's a useless person, uh, because he has recently learned it from his master. He wanted to say that I'm not worth becoming a painter. That kind of a situation arose. He was um, uh, so much in a depression that he thought that he is not eligible to become a painter. People have rejected me completely, and he said he want to die. The master smiled and suggested, my son, I will prove that you have a great artistic skill. So his master was a wise man, and he has seen the world throughout. He was aware of the fact that he was a good painter, he was a good, skillful person. But the only thing is that he has done something wrong out there by getting it displayed in front of so many other peoples. So the young artist could not believe in it and said, I have lost faith in myself. I don't think I am good enough. So he started repeating the same, that he is not worth it, because so much of criticism in forms of crosses is there. How can his master say that no, he is not bad in it? So do as I say without questioning it, was the kind of answer his master has given. See, he suggested कि अब जो भी मैं कह रहा हूँ, do that. So just paint exactly a similar painting once again and give it to me. So he wanted that he should paint the same kind of a scenery, and then you can give it to me. So he did that. The young artist reluctantly agreed. Though he was not agreeable, he was not agreeing to the fact that what can he do, but still he thought that okay, his master is telling, his great painter master is telling that he must have thought something. He started painting it and given it reluctantly. After 2 days, he presented a replica of his earlier painting. The replica is something similar to what he has painted earlier. It was almost the same. They reached the same street square early in the morning. So with the same kind of a painting, and with the situation which was almost similar to that what has existed earlier, they reached that place. And now the master took out another board, and which read. So he displayed certain lines below the painting. This time his master took out that place below the painting, and he started writing it. Gentlemen, I have painted this piece since I am new to the profession. I might have committed so many mistakes, or might have done some mistakes in my strokes, choice of color, etc. I put a stool with colors, brushes just below. So what he did, that he placed in the stool some colors which were similar to that what was used in the scenery, and some brushes, and the statement read like that, you can improve on where he has gone wrong, so that the scenery can become better. Placing the painting there, the master and the young artist walked back home. So what they did, they went away, similar to what he did, the painter did, the young painter did the earlier times. They both visited the place the same evening. So similar to that, what they have, rather he has done earlier, that young painter, they both returned and saw in the evening what has happened. The young artist was surprised to see that there was not even a single correction done so far. A single correction was not done so far. And same kind of a situation you might have seen in many of your uh, engagements to peoples who criticize you, who think that they are better off than you, and they are not able to improve those kind of correctness they want in you, isn't it? If you say that, okay, improve, or let me improve, suggest me, or you improve in a similar way, they are not able to perform, isn't it? So maybe they both visited, and then uh, they thought that let us keep it for one more day. Maybe it is too small a time to keep it for an entire day, and people might not have thought for it in a big way. Let me put it for a while, for at least for another day, because the next day was a Sunday, and they thought that maybe the peoples will be coming out in larger numbers, and they will be make able to find out the mistake, and then they can rectify it. Next day again they visited and found that the painting remained untouched. Even on Sunday, where people were free, where they were able to find out where the painting was going wrong or what was the kind of a scenario at that particular scenery, they were not able to improve the same. So the entire 2 days were spent, and nobody coming in with a kind of improvement. A single brush of paint was not used in the entire painting. It is something similar to what we observe daily, isn't it? There are so many peoples, they say so many things regarding so many peoples. Yes, he's not good in that, he's not doing that, he's doing that in a worse way, isn't it? Some of the times, yes, positive criticism is there, and that is essential. But criticism which is all associated with negativity only just to make yourself feel uh, one up against the other person is not justifiable, isn't it? So the peoples must come out with a criticism which is certainly going to help the other person. What I normally say is that you should come out with a solution rather than a problem. Problem is very easy to bring in. You are aware of the fact that yes, this is the problem, but the solution is very difficult, isn't it? And most of the people who are able to do that criticism is that they are coming up with a problem. Maybe there are some problems, maybe there are certain correction, maybe certain things are not up to the mark. But if you just keep on coming up with the problem that yes, this is not good, this is not good, the solution is not going to be there. So you would have to act. You would have to lead from the front in taking care of those kind of mistakes to improve upon it, and the criticism which is negative is going to pass off, isn't it? The main motto of a criticism should be that the things get rectified. Most of us, we find that criticizing or fault finding an easy work for the others. If given a chance, we can point out various flaws in the tasks which are done by others rather. So we need to be very active. We need to have a constructive criticism rather than destructive criticism. Constructive criticism is a communication technique. Maybe in due course, when when you will be growing up, and you will be finding that yes, if you want to correct someone, you need to talk in a way that um, that is helping the other person to improve. And teachers do that a lot, isn't it? Many of you might feel at times that yes, uh, my teachers are criticizing a lot, but yes, in this that's a blessing in disguise, because they know that this is going to hamper you in your coming years. They are able to foresee your fate or your life from a much distant way. They are helping you correct certain things which needs to be corrected at that point of time, because in later stages that small things might not change, and you will be in trouble. So that is constructive criticism. Most of your parents, most of your teachers, most of your elder ones who are your well wishers will do that constructive criticism. In that way, you need to have a faith. But negativity in criticism, which you normally do amongst your uh, fellow colleagues, or maybe the other person where you find that you want to show a one up to them, that is not desirable. That is something which is flowing negative energy all throughout. Okay, so this is all about the story, the different strokes. I hope you must have liked it. With this, I come to an end of this chapter. You need to go through the question answers, which I will be sending you in the form of PDFs, the MCQs, as well as the meanings which are there in it, which you need to learn it. Okay. So many of you have not written the question answers, which I have already given for uh, from chapter 1 to 4. There are some missing links in some of your presentation that you have given in the form of notebook. You need to go through it and see whatever suggestion I have given it to you. You need to see that, and you need to write all those things. And as soon as I return back your notebook, you need to write this question answers in your notebook and wait for the time. Then we will be asking you to submit it once again. So do it as soon as possible when you get back your notebooks. Okay. Good day. Good day, students.